These are 83 years of life challenges. I'm 42 and my wife is 41.
And together that makes 83 years. So, one of life's biggest challenges, I'd say, is dealing with loss of loved ones. That is something which is very difficult to actually go through. And over the years, we've both lost many loved ones. And, the world feels so different when you lose a loved one. You feel like your life will never be the same again. And there is such a void. And dealing with loss is really, really differs from person to person how they cope with that grief. And it takes time to actually process the loss of a loved one.
And on that note, it's dealing with stress. Stress is part of life, it's inevitable, but managing stress and recognizing the early signs of stress can help you deal with the effects of stress so it doesn't impact your life too much.
Another life challenge which we continue to face is obviously aging. We are getting older, and you think that you will forever be young, and before you know it, you are in your 40s, and the things that you thought of as old people, when I was young, I thought of it as an old person very differently to how I now feel in my 40s. I am 41, but it doesn't mean to say that I can't still do the things that I pursued in my youth. I'm still taking risks. I'm still trying different things. But it's also understanding that time is not infinite, that one day we will no longer be here. And that's also difficult to process and difficult to actually come to terms with.
Dealing with failure. Failure is inevitable, but managing to deal with it when things are difficult, when you've actually failed, and to keep going. So, dealing with failure and trying to keep moving forward, even after you failed, trying not to let that failure affect your life is a really important skill. Otherwise, you can get bogged down in failure and it stops you from achieving what you want to.
And another challenge is financial challenges. I mean, we have been at points where finances have been great and times where finances weren't that great. Just understanding about budgeting, understanding your expenses and what money is coming in, how you can have other ways of creating more income, and understanding that even if you are having a time where you are struggling financially, that it doesn't always have to be that way, that you can find ways to actually overcome your financial struggles.
Motivation. Motivation is really important, but it will go up and it will go down. So it's quite easy at the beginning to have lots of energy and to get things done, but then inevitably that motivation will start to dip. So having some kind of system, some kind of routine, maybe recording it. So when you're doing an activity or a task and you're writing down how you're feeling and being honest with yourself, like, I'm losing motivation here. You don't always have to have 100% motivation. And that's part of being kind to yourself. So when you recognize these times and you can say, okay, it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to work even harder. I just need to be kinder to myself and to keep going so that I can set some time aside to work on the task that I'm doing.
Yes, and talking about motivation and things of that sort and habit building and systems, a fantastic book to read is Atomic Habits. So do grab that book if you haven't already. It really changed my life about creating habits. Another challenge that I've faced over the years is facing fear. Sometimes when something is really scary, you want to run in the opposite direction, don't you? But understanding that it's normal to be fearful of things that are different, things that you haven't experienced before, but also understanding that through time, your fear dissipates. And once you put yourself out there and you can step out of your comfort zone, for example, if you have this huge presentation and there are so many people and all eyes are going to be on you, it can be so daunting. I remember that once I had to do a presentation in front of a very prominent business person, and I was really nervous. But we met with the business person and it went fine. The things that I feared didn't even come to fruition. So a lot of the time, your mind can go into overdrive in terms of this fear is leading me in this direction and the outcomes are going to be so negative, and your mind can just spiral into all the possibilities.
So how do you manage to maintain the focus and not go down the downward spiral?
I think I've always believed in preparing. If you have a task and you're scared of it, prepare for what you are supposed to be doing. For example, if you're scared of going for the job interview, prepare really well for the job. Research the company. Go and look at what possible questions you can ask the interviewer. Look at what the company can be doing differently or better. And if you come armed with knowledge, no matter what situation you're facing, it helps you dissolve that fear. So that's always helped.
In today's society, we've heard of mental health. It's more prominent in society. You even have celebrities, footballers, sports people talking about their struggles with mental health. So it's become much more mainstream to be aware of mental health. You're shown success and get rich quick, and you see all these people succeeding. So you feel like you should be at that level.
Another challenge that I continue to face, even though I am Body One, is self-confidence. Self-confidence is, I think, a lifelong journey. If you made it to this point, please comment below the word hope. We hope that you are having a fantastic day. Do like, share, and subscribe. Bye.
Bye-bye.